All right, y'all. AEW Dynamite review for October 5th, 2022. We had MJF's first match in about, I think Excalibur's about 120, 130 days. We had a TNT title match, Wardlow versus Brian Cage. I don't know where the fuck Brian Cage has been. He's back on Dynamite tonight. And then we had a pretty solid main event, I guess. All right. On the screen is the whole card for tonight and all the segments. Get to it. All right, so first match, we had MJF versus Wheeler Yuda. MJF hits a backbreaker. MJF hit a gut wrench power bomb. Yuda hits 4 German suplexes. MJF hit a double stomp on Yuda's arm off the top rope. MJF hit a power bomb on Yuda on his own knee. Never seen that before. Yuda hit a Hurricane Rana off the second rope. And then Yuda hit a diving splash off of the top rope. And then MJF put Yuda in a Fujiwara armbar. And then Yuda's about to get the ropes. And MJF drags him back. And then he cranks his arm all the way. Shit looked painful. And then Yuda tapped out. After the match, Wheeler Yuda wants to shake MJF's hand. Wheeler Yuda puts his hand out. And then MJF, he's about to shake his hand. And then out of nowhere, Lee Moriarty from the firm attacks Wheeler Yuda. And then MJF starts yelling at him, "Oh, I didn't tell you to do that." And you get all pissed off. And then Stokely Hathaway, the manager of the firm, he's on the apron. He gives MJF his Dynamite diamond ring to hit Wheeler Yuda with it. And then, so William Regal was on commentary during this, so he got up onto the top of the entrance ramp and he pulled out his brass knuckles. He used to use that during his matches. And then he heads to the ring, and then MJF and Regal looked like it's about to square off or something, have a little brawl, and then MJF just leaves. That's pretty much it for that. All right, so next match we got Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal. Lethal hit a German suplex. Lethal hit a dragon screw off the top rope. That move looked nasty. Lethal locks in a figure 4 leg lock. Darby gets to the ropes. Darby hit a code red for a near fall. And then Darby pinned Lethal with a tight stack pin. After the match, Darby shakes hands with Lethal after the match. And then Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh are there. And then they were just pissed at him, like, why are you shaking his hand? And shit like that. All right, so next up we got Brian Cage versus Wardlow for the TNT title. Brian Cage was accompanied to the ring with Prince Nana. I've never seen this guy before, so apparently Brian Cage is with him. Wardlow hit a slam. Cage hit a Alabama slam, and then Wardlow hit a whisper in the wind. 300-pounder doing a whisper in the wind like he's fucking Jeff Hardy or a cruiserweight off the top rope. This guy's nuts. Wardlow hit 2 German suplexes. Cage hit a suplex, but he was standing on the top rope. Wardlow was on the apron, and he suplexed this guy. He suplexed him off the second rope, standing on it. It was insane. And then Wardlow hit a standing spine buster. And then Brian Cage hit an F5 for a 2 count. Wardlow hit 4 power bombs for the win. The power bomb symphony. And then 2 random guys from Prince Nana's group. I guess they got a whole group now. Attack Wardlow. And then Samoa Joe and FTR come out to help Wardlow. See if Brian Cage is going to be back or if he disappears forever again. All right. Next up, we got. There you go. The 6 women's tag match. Before that, though, there was a segment with Britt Baker before the match starts. She says the doctors have not medically cleared Saraya to wrestle. So what was the point of bringing her in if she's not going to wrestle? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so we got Jamie Hayter, Penelope Ford and Serena Deeb with Britt Baker and Rebel accompanying them versus Athena, Willow Nightingale, and Tony Storm, accompanied to the ring by Saraya. Willow hit a spine buster on Jamie Hayter. Serena broke up the pin. Rebel put out a crutch because Willow was like hanging on the ropes near them and the ref wasn't looking. He's about to hit Willow and Saraya grabs the crutch and just chucks it away. Willow hit the pounce on Serena. And then Serena hit a spear on Athena. Jamie Hayter hit a backbreaker on Tony Storm. Penelope hit the cutter on Willow for a 2 count. Willow hit a power bomb on Penelope for the win. And yeah, so that was it for that. It was an okay match. All right, next up we had the Acclaim. It was National Scissoring Day. All right, so this segment was pretty much like to uplift people. It was hilarious. These guys are the most over thing in the company right now. So Billy Gunn had a present for them. He gave them some giant scissors. It was pretty obvious it was scissors. Like when you see this segment, he pulled out the present. You could tell it was scissors in it. And then, I didn't know this. Max Caster brought this up. Apparently, his dad was on the the Commanders now, but these do the Washington Redskins. His dad was on the Super Bowl team 40 years ago. It's a 40-year anniversary. So that's cool to know. Didn't know that. And during the match, during the segment, Swerve came out and he challenged Billy Gunn to a match. Billy Gunn accepted, and then so that match is next week. All right, so next up we had Hangman Adam Page versus Roosh. Roosh hit Page with the cable wire outside the ring. Back from the commercial break, Page hit a fallaway slam on Roosh, and then Adam Page hit a clothesline while Roosh was standing on the top or on the apron. Page hit a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. Roosh hit a pile driver for a near fall. Page hit the buckshot lariat for the win. After the match, Private Party comes out after the match. And then, so it looks like they're about to attack Hangman. And then out of nowhere, Moxie shows up through the crowd. And then Private Party just leaves. And then Moxie grabs the mic. He says he's been waiting for this for 3 years. 3 years of watching you, 3 years of studying you, 3 years of us circling each other. Between the two of us, we've beaten everybody that there is to beat in AEW, except each other. And then he says, on October 18th, there will be one last man standing here in AEW. 13 days, I'm going to break your face. I'm going to choke you till you turn blue because you're in the way, being the one true top guy here in AEW and the world champion. When the bell rings, I ain't got no respect for anything. And then Paige grabs the mic. So Moxie's about to leave. And then Paige says, if you've been waiting for this for so long, then where the hell are you going right now? And then Moxie grabs the mic again and he says, you got 13 days. Watch your mouth. So very interesting there. Building the main event in a couple of weeks between them. All right, next up we got Luchasaurus. I don't know what was the point of this. He faced Fuego del Sol, some jobber, and he crushed him like 20, 30 seconds. He had like 2 moves on him. So after the match, Jungle Boy attacked him with a chair. Jungle Boy said, he grabs the mic. He says, you were my best friend. After everything we have been through together, you chose him. He's talking about Christian here. And you broke my heart, but now I'm going to break your fingers. I'm going to break your nose. I'm going to break you piece by miserable piece. Until I break you, you pick the time, you pick the place, I'll be ready. And then Christian grabs the mic. He says the place is next week on Dynamite. So it's going to be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. So they're stacking up their card next week in Toronto for their AEW's Canadian debut on Dynamite. All right, next up, we got the main event. Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Garcia hit a suplex on Jericho for a 2 count. Garcia locks Chris Jericho into a dragon tamer. It's like it's like another version. It looks like the sharpshooter, but he, instead of locking up his legs with his arm up top, he grabs a guy's knees at the bottom and holds it like that. So that's the difference between the two. Garcia breaks, or Sammy Guevara super kicks Garcia to break up the submission. Garcia and Bryan lock in a double crossface on both Chris and Sammy, and then they start elbowing both guys to the chest. And then Chris suplex Bryan through the table outside the ring. Garcia locks Sammy into a dragon tamer. So he does that move again. And then Chris Jericho hit Garcia with the Ring of Honor title. The ref didn't see it. She was looking at Sammy Guevara the whole time. She was like so down low, but maybe she might have saw it. I don't know. And then Sammy pinned Garcia for the win. Oh, it was an okay show, solid show. Yeah, so that was pretty much it for Dynamite. Next week, got Bryan versus Jericho in the main event. Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus. Oh yeah, next week should be good. See you guys.